I'm Maya Shahani. I run the SAGE Foundation and the Center for Management.
Oh, very good.
Mark Victor Hansen is on our advisory board.
Yes.
And I work very closely with Janet Atwood and Chris Atwood.
Yes.
So you are heading the Transformational Leaders Council.
Yes.
I have a dream, and I'm going to ask, like that girl that you mentioned. We are planning to build the biggest Transformational Leaders Council in India. And I would like to work very closely with you because I head one of the biggest educational boards. Aftab knows about it, the HR college and the KC group of colleges, where we have 55,000 students graduating every year. And so it's a board that's been running for the last 60 years. You mentioned the Chinese and the students and the billions of people who transform because of, you know. So I still haven't thought about it, but I'm wondering how we could work together.
Probably very well would be my answer. But all you have to, I'll give you my card. No, I don't have one with me. I actually left without it. But if you'll give me your card, we'll connect, we'll talk, and we'll see what we can do. But thank you for introducing yourself. I look forward to that. Good for you.
Good evening. I'm Anjulika. I have a very simple question, but it's very difficult also. The process of creation, the first step, as you said, we get refrained is from asking. But my question is, even if I ask, at the back of my mind, I think everybody will agree with me, there is a doubt of self-worth, whether I deserve this.
Yes.
So how do I overcome this block of not deserving it? The moment I feel I deserve it, I think asking and receiving and manifesting will be a magic. I think this is the only block, if you can help me.
You're right. And what I'm going to recommend to you is a book. Or even before the book. I actually wrote a book with a woman named Pamela Brunner that's coming out from Hay House in May. And it'll be sold at this bookstore, I'm sure. And it's called Tapping into Ultimate Success. There's a new technology in the last, 10 years called EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. Yes, and basically what I've discovered, I've always been looking for what's the fastest way to remove limiting beliefs and fears, and unworthiness is a belief. You know, we're all born worthy, but somehow we decide at some point that we're not because our parents didn't pay attention to us, or we did something bad, we got pregnant when we were a teenager, or whatever it might have been. Something occurs in the brain, well, I'm not worthy of this success. It could be a theological belief, whatever. When you're tapping, which you tap on these points, like at the top of your head, here by the eye, underneath the eye, here on the lip, so forth, and anybody can go to Google and just type in tapping diagram and then go to Google Images, and then you'll see where the tapping points are. There are hundreds of videos on YouTube about tapping. Just go tapping EFT. And so we've done a book on it about how to get rid of the blocks to success using tapping. There's a DVD in the back of the book. And we just did a course called Tapping into Ultimate Success System, which is a home study course which you can download from the computer by going to tappingintouultimatesuccess.com. Walk yourself through it. It's totally self-administrative. And we've found that for most people, with about 5 12-minute sessions, you can disappear that unworthiness forever. It's that fast. It started with the guy who came up with what was called the 5-minute phobia cure. He had a secretary who was afraid of the water. He liked to dictate out by his pool. She couldn't go out there. That upset him, so he said, I'm going to solve this problem. Found out there were these acupuncture points related to the kidney meridian. And when you tap those, you can actually release the fear. So in my seminars, not tomorrow night, it's not long enough, but in my longer week-long workshop I do every year in America, we teach people the 5-minute phobia cure. I've cured people of phobias of snakes, heights, waters, airplanes, anything at all. 5 minutes or less, speaking in front of public. Woman was a great singer but couldn't sing in front of people. 5 minutes later, she's performing in front of 400 of my students. So this is a new technology. You don't need to suffer anymore. Suffering is optional from now on. Okay? You're welcome.
Hi, Jack. My name is Siddharth. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
It was very inspiring when you said that. When you used to be a school teacher, you were earning $8,000 and you went up and you had ambitions of making it $100,000 and you got close to 90. I completely believe in your school of thought. Now, when I was in college, there were three of us, three friends, okay? There was this friend of mine who continuously said that he had goals, ambitions, dreams. He says, by the age of 17, I need to achieve this. By the age of 20, I need to achieve this, and 25. And every day of his life was to achieve his dreams and fight battles and bounce back and stuff like that. And then I had this other friend of mine on my right-hand side who just went with the flow, and he said, I live each moment. Let's just see what happens, and I'll just take it as it comes. And I find the friend who went with the flow was a lot more happier with the friend who had dreams, ambitions, aspiring, bouncing back. So what do you have to say to that? One who goes with the flow, who enjoys himself much more than one who has ambitions and dreams beyond imagination and is fighting day in and day out to achieve that.
Yes. I think there's a couple of things I would say to that. For me, it's a combination of the two that makes life work. A friend of mine who's a minister, I think his name right now, Michael Beckwith, he's in the movie The Secret. He's the black guy with the dreadlocks, if you've seen it. Has a wonderful definition of the 4 stages of spiritual development. And the first stage is you're a victim. You think God's doing it to you, you're a victim, why is the universe lined up to conspire against me, woe is me, complain, blame, whine, etc. The second stage is where you become what he calls a manipulator. You learn that there are laws of the universe, like the law of attraction, like the law of reciprocity, like the law of, as you think, so you shall reap, and so forth. When you start using those laws and they work, you go, oh my gosh, maybe there's something out there that's holding this whole thing together that's bigger than me, because these laws are kind of irrefutable if you use them. And so then you go to the place of, I'm going to surrender to this higher power, go with the flow at that point. I'm going to be a channel for this energy that flows through me. As it flows through me, it shows up however it does. And I'm not a channel for God. I am God. Not like I am God, no one else is. Not I'm all of God, but just like a water is part of the ocean, the water is the ocean, just like we are God. We're part of the allness of it. As people move through their evolution, whether it's in this lifetime, I happen to believe in reincarnation. Not everybody does. I have direct memory of 4 lives that I can come to you very clearly. Then as we evolve, we move through those stages. So someone that's like, I've got to go, you used all this language, this body language, I'm going to do this, I'm going to fight that, I'm going to wrestle to the ground, I'm going to achieve some goals, I'm going to overcome the obstacles. There's not a lot of flow in that, right? Yeah. But if I can do the thing where I go, okay, I'm going to tune in and see what God's will for me is, or what my intuition is, or what my inner guidance says, or what I feel like doing today, all of those could be ways of interpreting the same thing. And then once I find that out, use the power of the will to orchestrate moving forward, but I'm doing it in flow with what I'm supposed to be doing. And so there's a combination of kind of surrender and intention. Surrender and intention. You're not stuck in either one. Just like there's an in-breath and there's an out-breath,